Hello everyone, this is Frugal Panda here. Hope everyone's having a good day. Let's do a ride in Boulder, Colorado. Boulder, Colorado is located in Colorado in Boulder County, with Boulder being the county seat, of course. Boulder, Colorado is a city of 106,000 people. Known for CU Boulder is up here too. So for football, stuff like that. Beautiful campus here, by the way. It's a beautiful place by the Flatirons. Boulder Creek runs through the middle of it. It has Pearl Street, which is a really cool area. Pretty expensive up here for people, but a lot of people want to live up here. It's very nice. It is. It's very nice. Fairly clean. They do have a homeless problem here, but when summer comes around, they magically move them out a lot more. And I think they've gotten really better since they had that incident where I believe it was the guy. You can look it up in the news with the people that were meeting and used a Molotov cocktail and stuff like that on folks. I think they realized, and he wasn't even from here, but they've let too many people like congregate in downtown that are homeless and different stuff and mental illness. So, but anyway, it's summertime, so they like to move them out and push them out somewhere else. Out of sight, out of mind type of stuff. So anyway, we're riding an Lectric XP 3.0. I have an extra. It's a long range, but I have an extra standard battery. I just came up here in the summer, just wanted to ride around, get away for the day. So I threw my bike in the car, in the truck, and took off. So we're riding around. I have no plan of anywhere I'm going. I'm just really just riding around, enjoying the weather up here, just getting away from the Denver area for a while. And I'm not knocking Denver. I'm just, sometimes where you're at all the time gets kind of old and stale. You just want to get away from it. So I came to Boulder this time. So anyway, I'm just riding around here. I would ultimately end up at the Boulder Farmers Market, where around lunchtime I'd grab a bite to eat there as well, and sit down and just relax for a minute and eat. As I said, we're just riding around, enjoying this weather. Look at this weather out here. Everybody's out. A lot of schools back in, so there's a lot of college students here. Which I don't mind college students. I mean, you're paying a lot of money to be here, so it ain't like it's, some ran down high school or something with a bunch of students hanging out here. So anyways, very nice day. People out here enjoying it, hang out in the creek, swimming in the creek, tubing in Boulder Creek here. If you're up here, also go hike at the Flatirons. It's a really cool area to hike as well. Very beautiful in that area, by the way. Like I said, Boulder is like always rated in the top 10 or top whatever of best places to raise a family. If you got the funds to do it up here, Boulder is not a city to come if you're not highly educated or you have a highly sought after skill. I mean, highly educated, you got to have more than a bachelor's in something, unless it's in like nursing or something like that, something that requires a state licensure, or if you're blue collar, like a plumber or electrician, stuff like this. But if you're coming up here with just a bachelor's in psychology and you're not in college, it's going to be a struggle to survive up here because it is expensive. You can look at these neighborhoods and tell how nice it is. Someone may chime in and say how much they hate Boulder or how horrible it is and all this. The data doesn't support you on that. And I don't pay people any attention on that. A lot of times I let their comments sit there, but I'm sorry, that's too much energy. It's not a horrible place. It's not an ugly place. It's not a junky place. Here's the videos. This is what it looks like. There is no hidden spots in it. Now, there's not hidden areas. There's areas where they push all the homeless to, a lot of times where they congregate, but it's nowhere near like a lot of other cities. Eugene, Oregon, I'm looking at you. I really like their downtown. I like the vibe of Eugene, but Eugene, I'll see this year again. I might stop there again. They have a serious homeless population there as well, but comparing Boulder, which is a college town, to Eugene, Oregon, which is a college town, Boulder is a much cleaner college town. What Eugene, for example, has going more for it is, well, it has the beach. The beach is 45 minutes away. You start hitting the coast, and you're right at the coast in 45 minutes, and it's a beautiful area as well. So anyway, so I just want to, say that to some people, because I know someone's going to get in here and tell you how bad it is, and it's this and that. And here you go. Here's the video right here. This is what it looks like. I'm not hiding anything. I'm just riding my bike. We're going by student housing. We're going through regular neighborhoods. As you can see, it's really clean. It's very green, very treed. Downtown, I'm not walking around, so I can't really show you much about it right now. But downtown's cool. It's really cute. You see so many kids out playing and stuff, and so many families with children here. People come here to raise their children, and I believe they have pretty strong public schools as well. But don't quote me on it. I'm sure they do. Anyway, we are just riding around. I think after this year, I'm going to go ahead. I'll wait and see if they have a deal on an Lectric XP Lite. I think I'm going to get a Lectric XP Lite long range with a second battery or something very similar in that weight range. I like the Lectric XP 3.0, but to be honest with you, I'm tired of lifting it up into my vehicle. It weighs 70 some pounds. I pull the one battery out. It's just a heavy bike. It's clunky. I mean, I like it. It rides well, but it also, for it being so heavy in folding it, it's easier to damage something like that when you're putting it in an SUV, or it ain't going in no car for the most part, unless you got a very big car. But 70 some pounds, 75, 76, even when I pull off the seat, because I'll take out the seat, I'm not going to take the battery out every time I go to load it, because sooner or later you're going to drop the battery, you're going to damage it sliding it in and out. It's just very cumbersome how you take the battery out, if you know what I mean. People that have that, they understand what I'm saying. So you're talking 70 some pounds versus, I think the Lectric XP is like 40 some pounds. I can do 40 some pounds easily. I'm just really tired of having to throw it in the vehicle and looking and seeing I got scratches on it, or my fenders, bent to the side or something like that. So I think I'm going to go with the Lectric XP. Plus, it has a smaller footprint in comparison to the Lectric XP 3.0 or the 4.0. And I know the 4.0 is a little lighter, but it's not that much lighter. So, and what I mean by, the Lectric XP, I'm talking about the light, is the one I'm looking at. The thing I don't like about it is it's a single speed. But then I start really thinking about it, probably 90-some% of the time, I don't switch gears. So I know what I think I need, but the reality of it is I don't really switch gears. So I got to be honest with myself and be like, well, do I really need all the gears? No, I really don't need all the gears. Would I wish it had like 2 or 3 gears? Yeah, I do. But it's cheap. It's cheaper. It weighs 30 pounds is a big deal. Like just 30-pound difference or so is a big deal. When you're putting a bike in a car or an SUV or a truck and not damage it, because a lot of times when I travel, I don't want my car sitting, my bike sitting on the back. Do I have a rack I could possibly put it on? And I'm not talking about like a bike rack, but like it's one of those flat racks. I could stick it in there, yes, but when I go on trips, I don't want my bike being out, because sometimes, say I'm in Seattle or I'm in some big city, or I'm just in areas where there's a larger, they may have issues with theft and stuff. I don't want my car being, people attracted to my vehicle because I got a, $1,000 bike sitting on the back. Granted, in Colorado, for example, anyone who makes under like 80,000 or 90,000, I believe it is, you get like a 450 instant rebate if you buy a bike in town, or in the state. Lectric XP doesn't qualify for most of them because they don't have dealerships here, but Rad Power does and stuff. I'll look up Rad Power and see how much they weigh, but I think they're about the same as well. But and I do like those bikes, by the way, but I just don't think they're going to work either. So it's Lectric XP Lite that I'm more than likely looking at in regards to that. Okay, as we said, this is a college city, so the CU Buffs are based out of here. Division I football and basketball sports teams and stuff like that. It's a highly touted college up here. CU is a really good college, by the way. I enjoy Boulder. Would I live in Boulder? That's debatable. I don't think I live in Boulder. I think I live nearby, like Gun Barrel or one of those places. I think they have some really cute towns around there. I really like Lafayette. I think Lafayette is really cute and stuff like that. And as I said, these areas are expensive. My area is not cheap itself out in the Denver area, but you pay for what you get. It's going to be more expensive a lot of times in areas that are really nice, or you have access to jobs, because there's way more gorgeous places in Colorado than Boulder and areas such as this, or even in where I live. But can you get a job? Can you go remote? Do you have the skill set to do that? Or are you just retired? You may be retired. And a lot of people, that answer is no. They are not a hub for jobs. So they have to live in areas where the jobs is. People I know, I've worked with people that work in Denver and drive back to Boulder every day. And hats off to them. I would drive up here, but they were working 5 days a week. They weren't like on a healthcare schedule where you work like 12-hour shifts 3 days a week. They're working 5 days a week. And those same people were working in southern Colorado, southern Denver. They weren't, or the Aurora area, Centennial area. They weren't working in, say, like Thornton or the northern part of Colorado or Denver, which wouldn't be bad. It'd be like driving in Metro Denver. So people do that, and I work with people like that because they love the quality of life up here. Personally, I think you can find a happy medium if you do want to live here. But the main thing is you just have to have the skill set to live up here, and it depends on what you want. Do you want a house? Do you want a condo? Do you just want to do apartment living? Things like that. Anyway, this area is a gateway to a lot of outdoor stuff. So there's so much outdoor stuff out this way, and they do get a lot of snow, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Politics and stuff, it depends which way you lean or what you can tolerate. Let's say that. Do you want to live or let live type area? Do you want, it just depends what you want. This is more of a blue area. This area now, so Boulder's blue, and probably majority of the surrounding areas around it, like it's the smaller towns and the rest of Boulder County, may be red. I'm just using an example. So it just really just depends which way if that's really a big deal to you. Some people it's not really that big of a deal, but to others it is. But anyway, I'm riding around. Look at the day. It is so clear here. You like shopping? Tons of shopping, by the way, to do in Boulder. Lots of cute little shops downtown. Just be mindful of, I don't want to say tourist traps, but be mindful of your money. A lot of places to eat. Do I think most of them are good? No. I think they're basic food. They're very basic. People always tell, oh, try this place, try that in Denver and like Boulder area, and a lot of the food sucks here. I'm just going to be honest, in Colorado. No, yeah, a lot of the food, like people will tell me, especially I'm being honest, a lot of young people that are like transplants from like other big cities somewhere else. What they think is good food is not really good food. A lot of times it's kind of bland, like they don't season it, stuff like that. The better food I usually get is in Pueblo, in smaller communities, smaller towns. Honestly, if it looks ran down, it might be a lot of times better food. If it's real, some places are great for going out to eat because of the ambiance, but then the food is just basic, and you get wowed by food that's a little bit better than basic. But then you'll go to some small town, or I go to some barbecue place, I'm using an example, and grill it, and I realize this is pretty good barbecue versus this barbecue I had in the Denver area, which was I would have made better at my house type stuff. But come out here and eat. There's different places. If you like vegan food, stuff like that, you'll find some okay places. But then again, I found some hole in the wall places when I'm not a vegan, but when I was in like Oregon and different places, I'm talking about hole in the wall places. And it was pretty decent vegan food for vegan food, if you know what I mean, if you're not a true vegan. So I was like, all right, this is eatable. So, you know what I mean? But it's okay. I did find a little pizza shop that was okay here, and I'm not saying the food's bad. So I went to this outdoor market. It's their farmers market that they do here, and I got a dish of something. It was teriyaki chicken. It was decent. It was pretty good. It was off a food truck. Food trucks, a lot of times you can't fail a lot of times at food trucks. You just got to be careful not to spend $30 on a burger. You know what I mean? That's what I got. And it was pretty good. And got like a little tea drink. It was decent. So we ate. We took off. We're riding a little bit through the the Pearl Street area. There's so many cities with the Pearl in their name. I think they have it in Oregon and Portland. I go there, and there's some other places I've been with the Pearl in the name of the street or the district or the whatever. As you can see, guys, it's super clean here. Let me get back to the food just real quick. I'm not saying the food in Boulder's bad. I said it's just basic. It's nothing, it's nothing that's going to wow you. But there are little hidden gems in this area as well. You just got to find them. The fanciest places doesn't mean they have the best food. I've just learned that over the years. Anyway, you can see right here, it's very clean here. What else is there to say? It's Boulder, Colorado. Either you hate it, you love it, or you're just curious about going and visiting it. Go visit it for you make an opinion on the place. Anyways, Frugal Panda, everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.